Dear students, now we will see the next topic of this first unit, that is MOSFET, and the objectives are non-ideal characteristics of MOSFETs like finite output impedance or resistance, body effect, subthreshold conduction, then various breakdown effects in MOSFET and the temperature effect. So according to these objects, we will see the first one, that is first non-ideal characteristic, and that is finite output impedance or resistance of MOSFET. So in previous lecture what we've seen, according to that drain characteristic or output characteristic, we discussed after pinch off voltage, which is related to output voltage, whenever we are increasing this VDS, output current remains constant. That was our discussion, and this case is for ideal condition. But practically that current do not remains constant. A small change in current occurs. Now see, if we consider ideally if that current remains constant, then how much will be the resistance offered by that device in this region? Resistance, how it is determined? Simply that R equals to delta VDS by delta ID, right? Now change in voltage between these 2 points divided by change in current, as R equals to V by I, is it? So there is delta VDS non-zero, but delta ID as ID remains constant, that means change in current will be 0. So delta VDS divided by 0, and that will be equals to infinite, is it? So the resistance will be infinite, and whenever resistance will be infinite, that means current through it will be 0. But here the current shown is constant, it is non-zero current, is it? And that's why practically what happens, whenever after that pinch off voltage a small change in ID occurs, and hence the resistance offered by that device, it is not infinite, it is finite. And that is the first non-ideal characteristic of MOSFET, that is finite output resistance. So see, here I written after pinch off voltage VDS, slight increase in ID occurs and is calculated. Now remember this equation, this is for non-ideal case. ID equals to K times VGS minus VT bracket square. This was we discussed previously, into 1 plus lambda into VDS. Lambda, it is nothing but the channel length modulation factor. Now see what is mean by that channel length modulation factor. This is our MOSFET as per the construction we discussed. Here it was the drain terminal, drain region, and here it was the source, is it? Whenever we are applying somewhat non-zero VDD across drain to source of this device, so here what we can say, as it is of N type and substrate is of P type, that N type region, it is connected to positive of this VDD, is it? While as the substrate is connected to source, that means substrate is connected to negative of this VDD. That means the PN junction over here, it becomes reverse bias, is it? And whenever this applied VDD, it is very large, then that depletion region due to reverse biasing, it gets induced in the channel, and hence the channel becomes like this. Here it gets shrink as compared to towards the source side. The width of that channel, it gets shrink over here due to reverse biasing of PN junction by the application of this VDS, is it? This is known as a channel length modulation, and because of this modulation of the channel, the ID drain current equation becomes like this. That means that lambda, that factor, it affects the conduction of that ID, is it? And already I told this K, it is the conduction parameter, right? So in ideal case, drain current remains constant after pinch off, hence the output resistance, ideally delta VDS by delta ID, already I told, it becomes infinite. But if it is infinite, then through the infinite resistance, how much is the current? Current becomes 0. So it is somewhat controversy, is it? So that ID do not remains constant, a small change in ID occurs, and that's why there is somewhat finite resistance. So this is the first non-ideal characteristic. Second one, body effect. Now what is this body effect? While manufacturing the integrated circuits, instead of implementing a single transistor on a single chip to increase the number of transistors or to increase the density of transistor within a small chip, they are constructed like this. So here you will observe, if this one is the first transistor, our N channel E MOSFET, second one is this one, is it, which is implemented on a single substrate, that is P type of substrate. So here you will observe the first three terminals, source of first G1, that means gate terminal of first transistor, then D1, drain of first. The drain region of first transistor, this one, it is again acting as a source terminal of second. So this region is common for two transistors, is it? And that's why the value of that Vt gets changed, is it? For first transistor, as source is connected to ground, then Vgs equals to Vt. That means what? Voltage applied to the gate with respect to source, that means with respect to ground, that is zero potential. While in second case, whenever we will go on to apply Vgs, that will be with respect to voltage applied to the gate with respect to source of second, that means drain of first, and drain terminal it is always at somewhat positive potential, is it? And that's why the value of that Vgs equals to Vt gets changed for second transistor. So this is known as a body effect. Then third non-ideal characteristic, that is subthreshold conduction. Now due to the first previous non-ideal, that is body effect, generally ideally we are saying whenever the applied VGS is less than Vt, the amount of current flowing through the transistor, that is output current, it remains zero. But practically due to the body effect, there is small amount of current. Here it is shown just above the x-axis. The amount of current is very small, but still it is non-zero. This is known as a subthreshold conduction. So the same thing I written over here, ID remains non-zero even if VGS is less than Vt, which is known as a subthreshold conduction. So this is the third non-ideal characteristic of MOSFET. Then fourth one, that is breakdown effects. Now again, see, generally we are connecting that drain terminal to the positive of VDD. That means we are applying positive VDS, is it? So whenever we are increasing that VDS more and more positive, that means the PN junction formed between N type of drain with respect to P type of substrate, which is reverse bias. That PN junction is reverse bias, and due to the large application of that VDS, there may be a breakdown between that drain region and the substrate. See that drain region, I will try to show it over here. See, this was our drain region in the P type of substrate, is it? This is nothing but P type substrate which we connected to negative of that VDD, positive is connected to drain over here, is it? That means the PN junction over here between drain and substrate, it becomes more and more reverse bias, and that's why there is increasing depletion region over here, and that may get damaged because of large application of this VDD. If this VDD is sufficiently large, then the transistor may get damaged. So the breakdown occurred between that drain region and the substrate over here is known as avalanche breakdown. First breakdown occurs in MOSFET, that is of avalanche type. Similarly, whenever we are increasing that VDD sufficiently large, there is increasing depletion region over here also. That means within the channel also. Already here there is a induced channel, is it? So that depletion region, it may get induced in the channel, and the breakdown may occur over here again, that is in between drain and channel. So that type of breakdown, it is known as a punch through breakdown, is it? So these two breakdowns are related to the large application of VDD. And third one, see, to control the amount of output current, we are applying here somewhat gate potential, that is by VGG. If that gate potential, it is sufficiently large, or we can say very large, then the breakdown of SiO2 layer which is present between gate and the channel, it may get break. This SiO2, yes, that insulating layer, it may get break, or breakdown may occur through that SiO2 layer, which is known as a snapback breakdown, this one. So three types of breakdowns may occur in case of MOSFET, that is avalanche breakdown in between drain and substrate. Then second one, punch through breakdown, that is in between drain and the channel. and the third one, that is snapback, that is in between or through the insulating layer in between gate and channel. So this type of three types of breakdowns may occur in case of MOSFET. Now the temperature effect. Increase in temperature, that may increase the value of threshold voltage, that is VT, and thus there is decrease in ID. Whenever VT will get increase, what we can say, ID will get decrease, and vice versa. The mobility of charge carrier, that decreases by rising temperature. See this term, that is mobility of charge carrier, it is dependent on the temperature. By increasing the temperature, the mobility gets decreased, that we know, and thus there is again decrease in ID. Now the third point, the temperature dependence mobility, it is this one. Temperature dependence mobility, it is large than that of threshold voltage, which maintains the temperature stability of the device. And that's why generally we are saying MOSFETs, or in case of MOSFET, there is no thermal runaway, or it gets prevent from thermal runaway. Whenever we compare BJT and FET family, over there also that temperature effect we discussed, that is thermal runaway, do not occur in case of MOSFET, but it occurs in case of BJT. As in case of BJT, it is a bipolar, that minority charge carriers are temperature dependent. Increasing temperature increases the number of minority charge carriers, and that's why overall current through the transistor gets continuously increased, and at the end thermal runaway occurs in case of BJT. But in case of MOSFET, due to all these reasons, that thermal runaway will not going on to occur. Again, for this topic, I prefer this Boyle stud and Neshelke electronic devices and circuit, and whatever that construction of that body effect, then various curves I shown, that I prepared by myself. So again, you might have understood about the details, or as per the objectives of this topic, that is what is meant by finite output impedance, then body effect, subthreshold conduction, then various breakdowns in MOSFET, and the temperature effect. So thank you very much.